In this video, we're going to learn how to solve the patterns of self-sabotaging your fit, lean, healthy body fat loss success, and also what's going on with what is believed to be either a requirement for willpower or suffering from a lack thereof in certain tempting situations. And those two things, that's willpower and a history of self-sabotaging your fat loss success, were the top two challenges that you were coming into as you shared with me on the survey. So let's get stuck into that. And we're also going to be having a look at some of the strategies that you can also adopt in terms of getting into shape. But first, the deal with self-sabotage and willpower. So first off, this is just a belief. It's a belief that you self-sabotaged, and it's a belief that you need willpower. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but Pete, holy crap, I did self-sabotage. Self-sabotage and willpower is not the problem. It never was. It's actually just a symptom of the bigger problem. And the bigger problem you have is you have a lack of congruency in terms of how you see yourself, or at least you had a lack of congruency. And that's just a symptom that raises an ugly head when you have a lack of congruency. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this. As one of my subscribers, it's almost certain that you don't smoke cigarettes. And the reason is because in your mind, you have the identity of, and a congruent identity, that you're someone that just wouldn't even consider smoking cigarettes because it's probably going to be pretty disastrous for your health, which is true. It's actually the #1 leading cause of preventable premature death. So you wouldn't consider smoking cigarettes. Now, what that means is that, let's imagine you go to a social engagement and somebody offers you a cigarette to smoke. There is no willpower involved. You don't say, oh my God, it's like I haven't smoked for 40 years and it's been so much willpower and I'm at breaking point. I self-sabotage and I smoke 2 packets of cigarettes in 2 hours. No, you don't even have that challenge whatsoever. And the reason is because you have the congruent mindset of the identity of someone who just doesn't smoke cigarettes because you're more focused on your health. That's it. No willpower involved, no self-sabotage involved. Now, when it comes to losing body fat, this is even a bigger problem in terms of the medical reports, because when we look at the science, in actual fact, the truth is that hanging on to body fat is much more deadly when combined with sitting down for 6 hours per day than even smoking cigarettes. So it's a big problem. And the symptom of having an incongruent self-psychology when it comes to your self-image of how your body is it's just a side effect of an incongruent self-image is you get into situations where you're fighting and you think, oh God, I really want the cake, but oh, I shouldn't eat the cake. Oh, but I really want the donut, but I shouldn't eat the donut. Oh, I really want the beer, but I shouldn't drink the beer. And it's a willpower. And what that is that's 2 aspects of your self-psychology when it comes to your body being at odds with each other. One is that you want one thing, the other is that you want one thing, and then you have this vacillation, and that's what can end up with self-sabotage. So what we're going to do is, on the very first class of the Slim and Trim webinar series, we are going to get psychology done and dusted, because I know exactly what the problem is, and I've already articulated that to you, and I'm going to teach you how to clear it up so you have that same level of congruent self-image and psychology that you probably already have as an identity, that you're a non-smoker, and therefore you never need any willpower to resist a cigarette, and you never self-sabotage your long non-smoking habits. You never self-sabotage at least. So let's get that same psychology for you, and it is about getting congruent in your mind. There's going to be probably about 40 minutes to an hour of information on this and some daily practices to get this right, because this is the biggest thing. Unfortunately, your body will never change that much away from your self-image. So you see yourself as being a certain shape, you will tend to maintain that certain shape, give or take maybe 5%, because that's the self-image you have of yourself. And one of the phrases which I love, and that is, if you have to think anyway, you might as well think big and think of success, because it's the same thinking, it takes the same amount of time, and it doesn't cost you any money. So if you're going to think anyway, think big, think successful thoughts, and this is going to change your self-image and change your self-psychology. So plenty more information to share with you on that. We're going to dive right into that on Class 1 of the Slim and Trim, a webinar series, and we're going to get that done for you. And the good news is that when you learn that psychology, because I'm not actually teaching that with any other classes that I teach, just because I've got so much stuff, but when you learn how to change your self-image and how to change your self-psychology, then the good news is you can apply that to any area of your life. So let's imagine that you want to do better in relationships, or want to do better in your health overall, or you want to do better in your career or financial situation. Once you learn the psychology of how to change your self-image for the long term, you can affect absolutely every single area of your life that you wish for to be more successful in. But we're going to start with just showing you how to do it for your self-image of your body, so you get nice and slim and trim. But yeah, that's going to be awesome for you to learn that. And think how much joy and how much financial revenues that could be worth to you. It could be incredible, not to mention, and the feelings of love as well, getting a great relationship. Now, some of you have already seen this picture, so I uploaded this picture, and unfortunately, it's a sign of the times when there are so many fat, overweight, so-called nutritionists and health gurus who are purporting to know something about health or nutrition. Some of these people have been in health and nutrition for years, not just, they're not just beginners anymore, and yet the guys are bloody fat. And I would share with you, never trust a fat nutritionist or never trust a health guru, because if they can't sort out their belly, they probably can't sort out a whole load of other stuff either. I mean, this is just an embarrassment. So, so one of the challenges that I've been encountering is the feedback I've been getting is people have been thinking that I have just been taking this photo and swiping it off the internet and putting it on these videos because it looks good. Well, I have some good news for you, and that is I happen to be the health master that you can trust, because I can sort myself out. And here is a picture that I took of myself. This is Thursday afternoon, the 21st of April 2016, and as you can see, it actually is me. So the health master you can trust, right here. I can sort myself out. Thank you ever so much. I'm on my journey for having a long, incredible, healthy life, and I'm going to teach you how to get slim and how to get trim on the Slim and Trim webinar series. Now, let's get back to some of the questions which came up in the survey. So some of the stuff that came up was really a little bit about strategy. So psychology is a big thing. We've already dealt with that, and we're going to deal with that in class 1. But strategy is so important. And so some of the things which come up, and that is, I don't know how to make healthy food taste good. I don't know how to eat right to get slim, trim, lean and healthy. And I don't know how to exercise right to get slim, trim, lean and healthy. So let's just tackle those 3 big sticking points one at a time. So I don't know how to make healthy food taste good. I will be sharing actually on the Slim and Trim webinar series various recipes and ideas about what you can do to make your health food tasty. That said, if you really need to improve your culinary skills so you can make tasty food and enjoy it, I already teach 2 live events which tackle this aspect. The human diet is a plant-based diet, and we do a little bit better if we have a little seafood in the diet as well. So I've got 2 programs. One is the 5-day live plant chef training, which I repeat 3 times a year, and I've got one coming up 29th of July to the 2nd of August. That's a 5-day hands-on live plant chef training. You can learn how to become a chef culinary master with all cuisine, but we're going to be teaching by live food recipes, and that's all 100% hands-on. And I've got information about that on this blog, and you can also phone our office on UK 01733 759 648 to find out about that and enroll in that. And I'm doing that not just in the summer from 29th of July to 2nd of August, I'm also repeating that in October. And then the other culinary skills class I offer is a seafood class, because seafood does make human beings live longer and be healthier when they include that with a plant-based diet. And I have a seafood class coming up, in actual fact, and it's on the afternoon of Saturday the 30th of April, and we're going to kick off at 2:30 p.m. and go through to about 8 p.m. There's going to be an absolute ton of tasty, healthy, low temperature technique cooking methodology where you're going to witness, get the recipes, and get to eat and drink it all. And so you're going to have an amazing time with that. So I already teach culinary skills in terms of how to make stuff taste good. I will include a little bit more into the live webinar program, but if this is your primary concern and this is a primary sticking point, I would recommend strongly that you come on the live culinary skills classes so that you can improve your techniques in the kitchen to make healthy food taste good for the long term, and so you can reap the rewards. A couple of the other questions which came up is, I don't know how to exercise right. Now the good news is that exercise will or will not be important depending on how much fat you have to lose. If you are extremely overweight and you have a tremendous amount of body fat, then the good news is you probably don't even need to exercise at all unless you want to. And if you do want to exercise, then that's going to be great for you, because it's going to reduce your risk of chronic degenerative diseases. However, from a fat loss perspective, if you've just got a lot of fat to lose, it's not going to be important. It's going to be mainly achieved via manipulating your food choices. If you're already quite slim and you've just got that last little bit of puppy fat to lose, I can understand that, because I've certainly been in that situation myself. Then exercise does become more important, and I'm going to be teaching you about the 2 different types of exercise which you really need to focus on to lose that last bit of puppy fat, and that is, one is to maintain adequate shape in terms of your muscle size and strength, because shape is actually muscles. That's the bit that gives you the shape. It's not the bones, right? If you've just a sack of bones, you look like someone that came out of Auschwitz. So, I mean, you wouldn't want to look like that. I mean, they're very lean, they're very skinny, but they don't look good because their muscles are too small. So one is to do the harder exercises to increase and improve your muscle shape, and then the other is to add a little tiny bit of the right type of aerobic exercise at the right time of the day to just help with that last little bit of puppy fat loss. And we're going to be covering that as well. So whether you need to exercise or not is going to be dependent on what your body type is at the moment. And at the Slim and Trim webinar series, the first thing you're going to find out is where you are right now, so that I've got a good idea about what I need to teach you in particular to move you along to the next level for you. And then the other major question which came up, which was how to eat right. And I've already shared with this with you on a previous recording video here, and it's actually down on this page a little bit more, and that is, we're going to cover this for sure. It's going to get done and dusted from multiple perspectives, and that is not just which are the right foods at the right times of day to eat right to get slim and lean and healthy, but also looking a little bit into what constitutes protein, what constitutes carbohydrates, what constitutes fats, and what are the right amounts for you to maintain in your diet so that you actually become healthier and slimmer and leaner simultaneously. And it's a massive overlap between those two. So we're going to teach you that because fat loss is very much about understanding the right food choices, and very much about understanding where the proteins, carbohydrates, and fats are coming from in your diet, and what are the right food choices to make that give you those proteins, carbohydrates, and fat, and what is the right amount at the right time of day. So this is going to get done and dusted, and if there's still any questions, the good news is because it's a live webinar, it's going to, then you can ask questions every single week, and I'm going to be answering those questions because my focus is to share the love with you and get you to be slim, trim, lean, and healthy, because body fat is the evil enemy of your better health and longevity. And the sooner you get rid of it, the sooner you feel good, the sooner you look good, the sooner you decrease your risk of crazy, nasty diseases, and the sooner you're going to extend your lifespan by 6.5 to 8 years. And the 6-week live webinar program, so we've got just 1 week to go now before we kick off, and if you're not yet enrolled, then on this page just scroll down a little bit and you can enroll in the 6-week live webinar program. It's going to be awesome to see you on the inside. Just scroll down a little bit and I'll see you on the inside. Now, by now, you will know that as one of my subscribers, that body fat is the evil enemy of your better health and longevity. Studies show that overweight people typically die 6.5 to 8 years earlier than their slimmer, trimmer counterparts, and they die of boring things like cancer, hypertension, diabetes, stroke, Alzheimer's, so you wouldn't want any of that lot happening to you. Professor John Ioannowski of Germany shows us that body fat is in actual fact harboring 6 kilograms of toxic poison. In addition to that, another study that I've got here on the blog shows that this body fat, far from being some inert, safe substance storing energy, it is actually killing and damaging your DNA at about 2 to 3 times the rate faster than your slimmer, leaner friends. So body fat is the arch enemy of your health, and what we're going to do this summer on the Slim and Trim webinar series is we're going to together lose the belly. So for you to lose the belly, just scroll down this webpage a little bit, hit the buy now button, and I'll see you on the inside.